Oh, yeah. You are the moderator, please.
Yes. Okay. I'm aware. I wanted people to join before I would start. Oh, can we start now? Can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can we start now? I don't know the number of people you've admitted in.
Let me check. Have people joined? Let's see. Let me check the platform.
So I wanted us to wait like 3 more minutes for people to join. Then I start at
Okay.
exactly 10:05.
I want to check. Okay. The page has gone live.
All right. I should start then. Hello,
Wait for
everyone, and good morning to you. Can I start now?
yes.
All right. Hello, everyone, and good morning to you. Welcome to the Brazil Nigeria Knowledge Exchange Workshop organized by Sophie Farms and Investment Service Limited. Before we start, I'd like to introduce our team lead and an ASTA alumna in person of Ahmad Sefia Beauty, who'll be giving us a little introduction before we start. And after which, our first speaker in person of Mr. Abdullahi Abdurrahman Abem is going to start presenting on the topic collaborative pathways to enhance crop nutrition and food security. Do we have Miss Sophie here? Okay, it's 10:05 already. So, Mr. Abdurrahman, the floor is open to you.
Mr. Abrahman, you are muted.
Sorry about that. Um, Good morning once again. Just like to introduce earlier, I am Abdullah Abdurrahman Habib, and to the glory of God, I am the Business Development Associate for Sophie Farms Nigeria Limited. And this morning, we are trying to see how we can exchange, or can pass on to the general public the knowledge she got through our visit to Brazil. And is an avenue for us. On this note, I'll be sharing my screen so that we can see my presentation. I'm not going to take much of our time. I'll try as much as possible for it to be concise, and I won't mind to also, share the slides after the presentation via the platform. So just sit, watch, and enjoy yourselves. Can you all see my screen now?
Yes, Mr. Abdurrahman, we can see your screen.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me start. So, if you check on my screen currently, what I have, the topic I'll be taking in the next 10 minutes is collaborative pathways to enhance crop nutrition and food security. And this is a Brazil Nigeria Knowledge Exchange workshop, which is powered by Sophie Farms and Investment Services Nigeria Limited. I myself speaking, just like I introduced myself earlier, I am Abdullah Abdurrahman Agim, and I am the Business Development Associate for Sophie Farms. So, first of all, I would love us to understand the fact that a farmer who is living in Bahia in Brazil and another farmer who is living in Kaduna here in Nigeria, they faces the same quiet battle. They face the same challenges. That is nutrient-starved soils, rising production costs, and unpredictable climate conditions. But here's the question. Across this continent, their solutions, they are all similar to each other. Their solutions are similar approaches. Why am I saying this? This workshop is about to turning shared struggles into shared strategies. Our CEO went to Advanced School of Tropical Agriculture in Brazil, and she gained a lot of experience, and she has stepped down that training for us. And this is an avenue for us now to also, step that training to others. And that is why we are here today. If you check on the slide that is on my screen currently, you see a quote: two fields, one future. This is talking about Brazil and Nigeria. Imagine everyone can have this collaboration mindset. I believe it will be a channel where wisdoms is needed. Now, let's take why collaboration really matters. Why am I saying this is the fact that I personally I believe in agriculture. There shouldn't be anything like competition. Rather, it should be collaboration. Normally, in every business, they will tell you that when there is competition, it brings about innovation. But to me, in agri, it shouldn't be like that. There should be a collaboration because no single actor can feed a growing population alone. Never. And when you collaborate, it multiplies your capacity, it reduces your risk, and also speeds up innovation. Imagine you have maybe 2 hectares of land, you are planting maize, and your neighboring farmer have another 5 hectares of land planting maize. At the end of the day, within that cluster, we have probably 100 hectares of land farmed by different farmers. Now, imagine after the season you have harvested and everything, you want to transport those farm produce to the nearest farm market or to anywhere you want to sell them, or you want to transport them down to your storage facility. You will incur more cost as an individual. But imagine bringing a vehicle that will convey everybody's, produce at once. you are going to pay a little bit lower than the actual cost. So Brazil's advanced tropical agriculture and Nigerian resilient smallholder networks create a powerful match. Now, let's look at the food security landscape in Nigeria and Brazil. Currently, it is said that nearly 22 million people face food insecurity in Nigeria currently. So you and I that is on this class, on this virtual call, virtual meeting, virtual lecture, I believe we are privileged not to be among these 22 million people. But just imagine 22 million facing food insecurity. That is, they barely feed like a square meal in a day. So that's very, very massive. While Brazil, they've made effort to reduce hunger significantly, but they still battle regional inequalities. It's bound to happen, but I wish we'll get there soon. Now, aside that, what causes one of the things that cause this food security as well is climate shock. Yes, not just that, we also have degraded soils, we have high fertilizer cost, and weak extension services also affect all these things. Now, if you check all these things, they are just like inputs. Yeah, they are like inputs in the sense that the cost of those inputs will also determine the cost in which the farmers will sell them. Let's move ahead. Now, what crop nutrition really means. I know when we talk about crop nutrition, what comes to our mind is fertilizer, fertilizer, fertilizer. But it's more than fertilizer. It's a three-way harmony. Now we have the soil health, we have the plant genetics, we have nutrient management. Now, in soil health, we are talking about the biology of the soil, the pH of the soil, and the structure of the soil. Now, when you talk about the biology of the soil, the microorganisms, both living and non-living organisms that are contained in the soils, can be bacteria, can be worm, it can be anything. Those are things we are talking about. Then we also have pH. In every plant to do well, there's a required pH for that plant to strive well. So you have to also consider all those things. Those are the things that we are talking about. Now, we also have structure. Structure of the soil plays a very vital role in the sense that if the soil is not well structured, the plant will not be able to, take in nutrient that is available in the soil. For soil is just a growing medium and also contains some of the nutrients that is required. Then we now have plant genetics. Now, genetics is like hereditary. Genetics is hereditary. Now, we talk about gene, there are units of hereditary in the sense that a parent a plant, you replant it, and it will give you replica of the mother. Now, I think the father of gene is Mendel. So that's how they refer to him. Is the father of genetics, because he is the one that discovered that when you plant a particular crop, it will transfer that trait to the what will also come out. So that also affects um uh nutrition. Now we also talk about I also talk about nutrient management. Now, nutrient management is not just the ones we normally make use of. Most of us, or majority of people, only know about NPK, urea, and the rest. Those are macronutrients. We also have the micronutrients that is required for a plant to strive well. Now, let me give you a key point. Balanced nutrition improves yield, flavor, shelf life, and resilience. Yes, a typical example is you and I, when we get to the conventional market, we buy tomatoes that, should I say, some of them are nearly spoiled. The shelf life cannot even take up to 3 days. Meanwhile, if you go to supermarkets or shoprite, you will see a lot of, you know, healthy tomatoes that can spend up to 2 weeks on shelf without spoilage. So those are the differences that, we are talking about. So a balanced nutrition improves yield, the flavor of the food you are eating, the shelf life, and the resilience. Let's move ahead. Now, this picture illustrates an healthy soil and a degraded soil. If you check what's on my screen now. Now, the challenge: depleting soil. Nigeria loses up to 30 to 60% of potential yield due to nutrient deficiency. Imagine losing 30 to 60%. Imagine if that 30 to 60% can add up to whatever you get at the end of the day. That's a very big one. Now, Brazil once faced the same crisis, but acidic, nutrient poor soil, but transformed it through partnership and science. They faced the same challenge Nigeria is facing currently, but they were able to, use science and research to transform that. Now, the lesson for this is the fact that degraded soils are not destiny. We can collectively, revitalize our soils. Let's move ahead. Now, pathway: joint research and soil innovation. Now, Brazilian strength is the fact that they have this tropical soil correction. Yes, they have a tropical soil correction. They make use of lime use, they make use of micronutrient management and conservation practices. Those are the things they've deployed to manage their own. That's their strength. Now, in Nigeria, the opportunity we can do is scaling adaptable soil health packages for smallholder farmers. Now, actions that I expect us to do after, you know understanding what, this particular topic is talking about is there should be a joint soil testing programs. Yes, there should be a joint testing programs. Another one is shared nutrient recommendation maps. This will help farmers to know the kind of soil they are planting on. Then another one is also called design pilot plots. Yes, before giving, any new plant or whatever to the, to the farmers, there should be a kind of demo where it's being tested, then before giving to these farmers. Strengthening input supply chains. Now, another challenge here is poor quality fertilizer, inconsistent prices, then counterfeit products. These are another challenges that is affecting our input supplies in Nigeria. Now, based on Brazil's model, according to what our CEO have, the knowledge she has gotten and has, stepped down to us. Some of the solutions these people use is local fertilizer blending hubs. They have them there. They have cooperative bulk purchase. When you collaborate, when you buy in bulk, it's cheaper. That's why big men will always, live a better life, because they buy in bulk. But normal us, we always go for pieces and pieces. When you buy in bulk, you save more money. Now, there's also transparent distribution system. That is not working currently in Nigeria. Most times when you give people to share inputs to farmers, the real farmers most times don't have access to those things. Yes, I've seen situation where people who claim to be farmers, at the end of the day, when they've been given input, they will sell those inputs to input sellers at a very cheaper rate. then the real farmers will now go and buy them at high cost. So those are the things that we need to imbibe as a nation, that will be able to also help us. Now, there's also a farmer-led knowledge network. Knowledge spreads faster when a farmer, you know, pass it to another farmer. It spreads faster compared to probably extension agents, because they trust themselves even more than extension agents. These farmers, they will tell you, I've used it, this is what I used last year, all those kind of things. So there should be that farmer-led knowledge network to help in achieving all these things. Now, Brazil ASTA approach emphasizes on one, demonstration farms. Yes, when our boss was in Brazil, I she visited a lot of farms, and that alone, I believe, is a learning avenue, because what you see, you can easily say it anytime, when even when they woke you up from a sleep. Then there's also integrated training modules. Yes, there's also integrated training modules. I think as part of this, that's why we are also stepping down this project, this topic, or this workshop, for others to also learn from the knowledge she has gotten from Brazil. Now, there's also youth-led extension. When young people that are vibrant, they led a team as extensionists. we should not we shouldn't leave it for the older ones or our fathers. I think we, the younger ones, can do much more better. Now, Nigeria can adopt similar models using Sophie Farms network. Sophie Farms have a lot of networks that can be of help, and also digital tools. I'm wrapping up. What success looks like: when collaboration is done, believe you me, these are the five key things that you are expected to get when collaboration is done right. Number one of them is higher yield with lower waste. Two is soils that breathe and regenerate. Three, food systems that withstand climate shocks. Four, prosperous farming communities. The last but not the least, continual Brazil-Nigeria knowledge loops. At Sophie Farms, we'll continue to share knowledge gotten from Brazil to our farmers, to our students, and all lovers of farm and agribusiness. A well-nourished field becomes a village's heartbeat. A call to action: government should create an enabling policies that will fund soil programs, while organizations should also invest in joint training, pilots, plots, and extension. Farmers also should adopt integrated soil fertility practices, experiment, and share knowledge. It's very important. While we at Sophie Farms will continue to drive community-based agricultural transformation, which is inspired by ASTA excellence. For some of us who don't know what ASTA means, is sorry, my network. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Your time is up.
All right,
Would you
thank
mind
you.
rounding up?
For some of us that doesn't know what ASTA stands for, please can you mute your mic?
Thank you so much, Mr. Adrahman. It was an impactful and interesting lecture you've given us. on the collaborative pathway to enhance crop nutrition and food security. To the audience, please, you can drop your questions in the comment section, or you can email us your questions, or better still, you can drop your questions on the WhatsApp platform. We'd be happy to respond to it immediately we see it. So, moving forward, I'll be calling on our second speaker, who is also a project supervisor in person of Adeola Musbaudin Bakari, who will be taking us on the topic nourishing the soil, empowering the crop. You have the floor, sir, for the next 10 minutes.
Miss Miriam, and then what a wonderful presentation by my colleague, Mr. Abdulrahman. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to us, depending on where you are joining the call from. Confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, Mr. Bakari, we can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
All right, thank you so much. My name is Adeola Misbahuddin Bakari. Be presenting on a wonderful topic that is akin to my colleague had just presented from Advanced School of Tropical Agriculture. That's a University of Sao Paulo. So we are like all the scientific terms, everything put together in his work. So we have actually tried to break them down for us to understand, because we understand that not just the students, not just the lecturers, not just the teachers that are joining this call. We equally have farmers, we have agribusiness experts, we have researchers here. So we are doing this just for us to carry everyone along. So I'll be presenting on the topic nourishing the soil, empowering the crop. Just like we all know, if we do not feed well, what will happen? Our growth will become stunted. Of course, will become runt. Yes. Same thing applicable to our crop. If you do not feed your crop well, you wouldn't have a good harvest at the end. Yes, the bumper harvest will be far-fetched. But then, is it that crop that we are going to actually empower? No. But what? The soil. Whatever we give to our soil, we get the result in our what? In our crop. So this is why we are sharing this knowledge for each and everyone to to tap from the wealth of experience of our team lead that was in Brazil recently. So the problem is this: why crop nutrition matters. Why do we feel like, oh, it matters for us? I mean, the nutrition of our crop matters a lot. Why? Because we understand that unhealthy soil will give you unfulfilled crops, of course. Many farmers, including myself, we apply fertilizer without timing. Of course, we just do that, after planting, whatever. We just, okay, let's just go and put something. And what we do most of the time is applying NPK fertilizer, applying urea fertilizer. And at the time, we just do this application without even being specific about the particular crop we are applying them to. The leguminous crop, do they equally require same fertilizer as that of the cereal crops? We do not know. We just do that because it's either it was recommended to us by a neighboring farmer or by a friend or whatever. That's what we do most of the time. Nutrient imbalance as well leads to poor flowering. And when you have poor flowering, what happens? The fruit will not be set. Not only that, it's either you have small or discolored beans. Of course, I mean the grains that you get. It's either they are very small or they are totally they have a very bad color. That's appealing to buyers at the market. And at the same time, you have low yield. And when you have low yield, possibly or what you will have is you have poor quality. Now, you see, as I mentioned coffee here, and I said coffee and other crops to lose market value due to weak nutrition. Why I'm actually mentioning coffee here is because the kind of research that was done by Professor Tezoto in Brazil was on this particular crop, coffee. But then, what due to this could equally, be beneficial to other crops too. And at the same time, Brazil is the leading producer of coffee in the world. I think they're having 30% of the world production, about 2.99 million metric tons, according to Food and Agriculture Organization in 2021. Yeah. So this is why, we are using coffee as a case study. But then, like I mentioned, we can equally apply this into other crops. So what are the insights gotten from Brazil? It was said that potassium is required, like 70% of potassium is required by crop. And this happens before grain filling, meaning that before the reproductive stage of whatever you plant, your potassium, I mean the 70% of whatever you'll be applying, or whatever, or the 70% of the total potassium you'll be uh, applying to your soil should have come before the grain filling. This will help to have a bigger bean size, the weight you have, a better weight, and again, it helps the movement of water and sugar, thereby driving fruit filling. And you have a kind of big fruit or bigger fruit. The same thing, potassium is one of the major elements required by plants or by your crop. However, your boron and zinc, they are two trace elements that are required in smaller quantity. But many a time, what we farmers do is to apply just the major elements. How about the trace elements? What if the soil that we are planting on do not have these, or they are not sufficient enough? So boron, it was said that boron is very key for pollen viability. And when your pollen is viable, what happens? It will be able to fertilize the what? The crop. I mean the female reproductive part of your crop. And when it happens, or when that is properly done, what happens? The fruit will be properly set. Then boron again prevents flower abortion. When you have a prevention of flower abortion, it leads to more fruit. Then zinc again is one of the trace elements that enhances enzyme function, essential for root development, and at the same time, it strengthens overall growth. What we observe many a time whenever it rains, you tend to see that most of our crops, especially maize, will lie on the floor. Why? Because they are not firmly erected on the soil. It could be as a result of the deficient in what? In zinc. So we now see nutrient timing gives what? Higher quality. And when you have higher quality, it commands money, it commands better market value. So what are the observations? The scientists in Brazil demonstrated that nutrient imbalance first shows first in leaf color. If you want to know that okay, your soil is actually deficient of a particular nutrient, you get to see that where in your on your crop, looking at the leaf. If you could see from the picture you have different type of colors. I mean the different nutritional deficiency in plants. If you check that of potassium, you see that it looks like a kind of dieback from the tip of the leaf. Look at that of zinc, it is yellowish kind of, and then boron, yeah, you have a kind of spot, yellowish spot. Then the importance of applying boron and potassium just before flowering was equally demonstrated. The use of leaf diagnosis to detect deficiency early was equally emphasized by these Brazilian scientists. And then they tend to, they demonstrated that precision fertilizer synchronized perfectly well with what? With the crop growth stages. And then they equally demonstrated how small dosing micronutrients, and most of us tend to, look down on, prevents major loss. Yes. Now, how these learnings apply to Nigeria? Yes, to our researchers, to our students, to our farmers, and any other person that is or are into agriculture. Our soils often lack boron and zinc. Let's get to know this. Just like the challenges highlighted in Brazil. And why Brazil? That's because both the geographical and their climatic condition aligns or is akin to that of Nigeria. Yes, we have the same type of soil, their weather, everything just like that of Nigeria. Meaning that whatever is being done perfectly well there should be able to do well here in our country. So many smallholder farmers apply fertilizer too late. That's one of the problem, thereby causing a kind of quality loss. And at the same time, simple practices like timely microdosing can increase yield. I hope you are following. Then schools and then demo plots can replicate lightweight trials. Yes, this is what we want us to do. But before that, let's quickly let's quickly give some recommendations inspired by Brazil. So the from Brazil, it was emphasized that the importance of leaf observation. Farmers should equally take note of this. They should apply nutrients before flowering. Then they should include small doses of micronutrients. I would recommend a kind of NPK 10 20 10. It could be NPK 15 15 15. Then 0.2% of boron. Then 0.5% of zinc. Yes, if there is any fertilizer like that, they can go for that. And they could equally get borax fertilizer. That one contains boron. That should equally help the soil. So then they should include, okay, they should encourage soil testing. Yes, most of us we do not do this. So they should encourage that just for them to know the kind of nutrient that will be applied to the soil that will thereby increase the yield of crop. So we hope to run this demonstration locally. But before we do that, we wanted to share this knowledge in case the audience we equally want to do same, maybe from their various places. Now, what are the reflection that I want us to, you can actually put that in the chat box. Do you think this practice can work in your community or school? That's a question. If you are going for yes, how? And if you are going for no, why? Just put that in the chat box. We want to hear from you. Then, what challenges do Nigerian farmers face in nutrient application? Yes, we equally want to hear from you. Put that in the chat box. Then, which micronutrients have you used before? Let us know. So, call to action. We want you to join the movement. Try this maybe on any crop. You just have your control, have control pot, have the one of NPK only, and have the one of NPK plus boron. Then whatever you get, try and tag Sophie Farms. You can use this kind of hashtag, Farm Flow Demo, then Sophie Farms Live. So thank you so much for watching. Uh, we will be giving you more of this come next session. I mean next series of this presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adela Masbaudin Bakare. That was a beautiful and interesting one talking about the implication and importance of boron and zinc in the plant and the timing of fertilizer application also. Yeah, those are really key factors that farmers, entrepreneurs, and everyone should put into action. So our last speaker is our Extension Officer, Mr. Gomina Morena Ozavize, who will be taking us through the topic sugarcane quality, implication of industrial process and products. It's good to have you here, Mr. Gomina. You have the
Um,
floor for the
Morning,
next.
everyone. Everyone,
There,
my name is
We can hear you.
Gomina. All
kindly
right,
unmute. You cannot hear you,
my
Miss
name is
Miriam.
Gomina Moraina Ozavize. I'm an extension worker at Sophie Farms. I'll be presenting a topic today called sugarcane quality implication for industrial process and products. This lecture is based on Sophie travel to Brazil and research work in Brazil. And I'll be presenting it today. Let me see if I can share my screen for all the viewers to see. Uh,
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Hello, can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can hear you. No,
Okay.
not
Can you
yet.
all see? You can all see my screen. right? Hello?
Yes, we can see your screen now, Mr. Gomina. Please go ahead.
All right. Um, the presentation will cover the following topics. No, the following subtopics. Ideal composition of sugarcane, sustainable sugarcane production, product derived from sugarcane, impact on industrial process, and lastly, factors affecting sugarcane quality. First, let me introduce you to sugarcane. Sugarcane Saccharium officinarum is a species of the tall perennial true grass and belongs to the grass family Poaceae. Sugarcane is one of the valuable crops grown in the world, and it is as a result of its strategic position and its varied use both for individual and industrial process. Sugarcane accounts for about 60 to 80% of world sugar production. Sugarcane is indigenous to tropical South and Southeast Asia, but can be successfully grown in other areas. As at 2012, an estimate of 1.8 billion of tons of sugarcane was harvested from 26 million hectares of land cultivated. And currently, Brazil is the largest producer of sugarcane, followed by India, China, Thailand, Pakistan, and Mexico. However, sugarcane grows and thrives in a variety of soil, but grows best in deep, well-drained soil that is rich in organic matter with pH of between 5.0 and 8.0 with high temperature 26 to 30 degrees centigrade and a sufficient rainfall between 1,500 to 2,000 millimeter. In Nigeria, sugarcane can be cultivated in Kwara, Niger, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, Jigawa, Taraba, Sokoto, and in absence of sufficient rainfall in this region, artificial irrigation can be provided. I don't know if you guys can be seeing. Are you guys seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes,
Hello?
sir, we can see your screen.
All right. Moving to the next. Moving to the next. Ideal sugarcane composition. Sugarcane we have 10 to 15% of fiber, and there's 85 to 90% of the juice, and 75 to 82% of water, and we have the solid liquids, which are of about 18 to 25%. Then we have the sugar, which is 16 to 23%, and the non-sugars, which are the organic space, which include the protein, amino acid, pigments, phenolic compounds, acid, inorganic minerals like minerals. Then we have the reducing sugars, which include this glucose and fructose. And lastly, the most important content in sugarcane in Brazil, what they need that's very important in Brazil there is the sucrose, which is used for breeding programs in Brazil. Then I'll go to the next, which is sustainable sugarcane production. Sugarcane can be propagated through the use of sets, and as David showed here, where a piece of sugarcane stalk containing one or two buds cut directly from matured cane and planted in the field to sprout new shoots. If you look at this picture, it depicts it. We have a sugarcane stalk here, and if you look at it clearly, we have the buds. The buds here, you can see there's what called internode here. The cycle around here is what called internode, and there's a bond. This bond there is what will be planted in the soil that will sprout a new shoot. And the second picture, as you can see, there's already root and there's a new plant coming up. And this method, if you are to use this method, it consumes in Brazil, it consumes about 18 to 20 tons of stem per hectare. And another method here is pre-sprouting seedlings, which involves seedlings developed from individual bonds and in protected nursery before being transported to the field, which consume about 2 tons of stem per hectares. And the picture here, you can see this sugarcane has been pre-sprouted before being transferred to the field for planting. Then the next one is meiosis. In Brazil, there's a strategy they use, which is planting, where a small portion of renewable area is initially planted, and its stalks are later used as seed cane, which is also means as set for planting the remaining area. As you can see on this picture, the first picture above, you can see that this strategy involves that they planted a particular portion was planted with sugar cane, and another portion you can see that plant looks like a soya bean plant there. So after a while, the plant has been the sugarcane has sprouted and each harvesting stages, and this other plant has been like it has reached the harvesting stage as well. We can actually sprout the other part of this sugarcane to the land. For example, this method promotes efficient seedling multiplication. It enables intercropping with short cycle crops like soybean, peanut, and other cover crops. It also reduces planting costs and enhance seed cane heads, and it's commonly used in field renovation. You can actually use it in your field renovation. We all know that cover crop is actually good. Like these soya beans can actually bring a lot of nutrients. So when you observe that probably your field is lacking some kind of nutrients, you can actually plant soya bean at a particular so that it can renew the nutrients. Then later on, plant your sugarcane stalks again. Then the first picture, we have the sprouting initial growth, which occurs after planting or cutting. At this stage, the sugarcane needs high demand for water and temperature. The second one, we have the vegetative growth, which cover most of the crop cycle, occurring during the warm and raising season with significant biomass accumulation. So these two pictures actually showing the sprouting initial growth and the vegetable growth. Then let's go to the ripening. During the drying and cool period, the plant undergoes water and terminal stress, which favors sucrose accumulation. Yes, during the dry and cool period, the plant undergoes the terminal stress. Terminal stress favors sugarcane. It actually makes the sucrose to accumulate in the sugarcane. Then the last one here, the number 4, when sugar is the harvest. When sugar levels reach optimal values for sugar and ethanol production, that's when you now observe, then you now start harvesting your sugarcane. And the pictures here actually depict the planting stage to the period where you can harvest your sugar cane. Then product derived from sugar cane. The first product here is sugar, which is the primary source of sugar cane. The other one is ethanol, which is a biofuel produced from sugar cane. In Brazil, most of their vehicle use ethanol as biofuel. They use it as biofuel for their cars, and they have been using it for over years now. The other one is bioenergy. Bioenergy is produced from sugarcane. This bioenergy can be used to produce electricity as well. In Brazil, they use bioenergy to produce electricity in Brazil. And other products is paper and other byproducts. They are also produced from sugarcane bagasse. And this bagasse can also be used to make molasses, where you can use it for room and other for drinks and all that. These are the major product derived from sugarcane. Then the one here is impact on industrial process. Impact on the industrial process. There in industry, when sugarcane have been harvested, the impact that it has on industry process, the first one is juice extraction, which involves the process of extracting the juice from the sugarcane. What they do is that when they take this sugar after you have harvested, they take it to the industry for extraction, and efficient extraction is crucial for sugarcane production. The next one we have clarifications, which involves removing of impurities from the juice. Yeah, sugarcane must have contained some impurities, so that's to go through process of clarification where all the impurities will be removed so that we can have a pure juice. Then the third one is crystallization, which involves the process of producing sugarcane crystal from clarified juice. This process, as I've said, it involves process of producing sugar crystal. This is when we start seeing our sugar in crystal form. So all these things are the impacts that sugar has on industry. Then the last one here, factors affecting sugarcane quality. The factors include weather, soil fertilities, diseases, pests, and extreme events. Whether when there is high temperature or low rainfall and or humidity and all that. These are the factors sugarcane quality. On soil fertility, where probably there is a excess of potassium and there is a low nitrogen in the soil. It also affects sugarcane quality. Then we have the diseases. Diseases like random stunting are some of the diseases that affect sugarcane quality, random stunting and all that. Then we have the pest. The pest, we have pests like internode borer, and we have like the stem borer as well. They bore into this at the early stage. They bore into these sugarcane stalks and they eat them all. Then under the extreme events like wind logging, yes, the tall grass and it doesn't have much stability. So if there is an extreme wind logging, it can fall off the sugarcane plant and it will actually reduce the quality and the yield as well. Then we have frost in a country where they experience frost. So frost is another extreme event that can affect sugarcane quality. And the last one is fire, which is we all know that fire is one of the extreme events, can actually come and take a hold of the feed and probably reduce. It's not going to reduce the quality, it's going to reduce the yield of the sugarcane quality. Then lastly, I have the conclusion here, which is weather and physiology. The first one is rain. Weather and physiology. How does it affect the sugarcane? Rain and heat. During rain and heat period, there's a fast vegetative growth and biomass accumulation. However, there's a low sucrose content. Then we have stress. During stress, which is the dry and cold period, there's a reduced growth and stimulate energy storage, but it actually helps in sucrose accumulation. And however, stress is very crucial because it induces ripening and maturation in sugarcane planting. Then the other one I have here is potential problems with harvesting before maturation, which is when we harvest before maturation. Sugarcane from the planting stage to the harvesting stage takes about 9 to 12 months, depending on the variety that you are planting. So, however, when you harvest before maturation, you are going to have low sucrose content, which will reduce the industrial efficiency and yield. Then the last one, higher yield, reducing sugar and non-sugar problem with industrial process. Then last one, let me just conclude and leave because my time is almost I'm almost run out of time right now. Why sugarcane? Sugarcane have high yield per year, which is average 80 tons per hectare. Like you can get average 80 tons per hectare. Then juice composition, sugarcane mostly in Brazil is bred for the sucrose content, which is about 15 to 25 sucrose content. The biomass generation, 250 kg of bagasse per ton is enough to supply industry energy demand, which is 40% surplus as electricity. Then the last one, we have the low transformation cost, which is from sucrose to sugarcane, directly fermented sugars. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. We'll be having more sessions probably by next week. I wish to see you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate for your audience.
While we are waiting for our moderator to be on the call. So, in case you have questions, please on our WhatsApp page, kindly drop your questions there. We will attend to you, or you make use of the mail. A message was sent to you via email, so you can ask your question via that email address. So we'll definitely get in touch to you. So by next week, same time, so we're having three presentations as well, just like we have it today. So we hope that you are there and you come on time. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend. Mr. Abraman, are you there? Mr. Abraman, are you there?